Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And when I saw this story, my first thought was, it's Patrick Harvie showing how utterly stupid he is yet again. Then I thought harder about it and I realised, no, he's not just stupid. He's actually hypocritical. He's actually going against his own party's beliefs. It's not that he's just an ignorant shit who knows nothing. He's an ignorant shit who knows nothing, who completely misunderstands the very aim of what his party is all about, and indeed is breaking his own party's manifesto. The man is mentally ill, is the only explanation. He's saying that they should cut funding for solar panels in order to push for the heat pump strategy. Now, basically, if you can get solar panels on your roof, that'll help run your heat pumps, because then you're using the sun to pay for the electricity to run the heat pumps, which are extraordinarily expensive to run. Plus also the fact that if you can put heat pumps up and encourage people to put heat pumps on their roofs, it's electricity that's coming from the sun. It's free electricity effectively, and it isn't going to be something that needs to be pushed out by burning gas in a gas-powered power station. What is the man on? Is he a complete lunatic, or is it just another example of his room temperature IQ? It just baffles the mind. Anyway, we'll take a quick look at this. But I mean, seriously, can anyone out there in YouTube land explain to me why not pushing solar is a good thing for a Green Party politician? It's astounding, isn't it? It's astounding. Anyway, here we go. You won't believe it. So, Patrick Harvie cuts funding for solar in order to push heat pump strategy. Solar, which is good, heat pumps bad. Knowing this, he's cutting the one good thing you could do on your house, which actually does do something excellent, in order to force something that is absolutely terrible and will not only destroy the housing market, destroy the entire economy, and mean people are actually colder. It will ultimately kill people with this policy, rather than the one good thing you can push, which is solar panels. It's stunningly stupid. But then he is, of course, a very stupid man. But anyway, homeowners wanting to install solar panels can no longer receive Scottish Government funding without forking out to upgrade their property's heating system. Green Carbon Zero Buildings Minister and tit Patrick Harvie is bringing forward a strategy to clean up how homes in Scotland are heated, with 13% of the country's emissions coming from the sector. That's 13% of Scotland's emissions, where the whole of the UK's emissions are 0.001% of the world's emissions. It's such a so think 0.001, then divide that into, say, 5. Let's say well, no, it's a fifth of the population, 10th of the population rather. So divide that again by 10. So 0.0001, and then divide that by 13%. Honestly, there's a lake in Tanganyika producing more than the homes of Scotland do. Anyway, Mr. Harvie is encouraging homeowners to replace traditional fossil fuel gas boilers. We stop calling them that because they're not all gas. It's not all the gas is fossil fuel. With more sustainable heating measures such as heat pumps, which are good for the environment. Ha ha ha! That's what the paper says. They're terrible for the environment. For a start, they need far more energy, far more electricity than and the thing about this is they need far more electricity, which is currently burnt by burning predominantly fossil fuels. They're not better for the environment. Also, of course, they need far more maintenance, which means people having to travel up and down the country, which again is not good for the environment. There's so many reasons why they're not good for the environment. Anyway, it's now been revealed that funding for solar photovoltaic and battery storage systems, I've got that. I spent quite a lot of money. I put it on my roof, and I've actually got a problem with the batteries, but I'm waiting for the engineer to come out and sort it out. But basically, during the day, the solar cells run the house during the day. up to 3 kilowatts. Anything over 3 kilowatts, you have to buy it in. But that's simply because the system itself can only go up to 3 kilowatts. But so you use what you use, and then what it does is it stores the rest of it in the battery, and then once the battery is filled, it then pushes it back out into the grid. And so, of course, that's fine during the day, and then either when the sun goes in or the sun sets, I've got a full set of batteries, and I run the house on the batteries until the batteries run down, and then the whole process starts up the next day. And when working properly, I can basically run, during this time of year, I can run a house on about 70p a day, which is more or less the standing charge plus a few flashes over where it goes over the 3 kilowatt thing. Usually when things like washing machines start up and things like that, but it's not very long. And they're fantastic systems. And indeed, they should be, never mind putting heat pumps in every new house, they should be putting those on the roofs of every new house. Anyway, he warned that there needs to be a focusing finite public funding in the ways which best support the strategy to decarbonise homes, adding that funding is being targeted at measures which will have the biggest impact on reducing emissions from heating homes. Well, if you truly want to do something for the environment, is with your limited funds, then I would suggest, first of all, stop buying stuff from China. Marvellous. Secondly, how about opening up the coal fields? Because that way, not the coal fields, the oil fields, and that way you're still using the same amount of oil as you're going to use, but you don't have to do all that extra transporting. There straight away. Yeah, number 2. How about banning private jets? There you go, number 3. How about encouraging more people to put solar cells on their roof with battery systems? There you go. And that way, they don't have to worry about freezing to death in winter or not having insufficient heat in the water system to kill Legionnaire's disease. Silly little man. Under the Home Energy Scotland scheme, people can obtain a grant funding of £1,250 to install solar PV or battery systems, an additional £4,760 available as an interest-free loan. And that, for a very, very small system, will almost certainly cover it. I had a very big system, mine cost a lot, but I put a massive system on because I'm greedy. I want lots of power, and I've got a lot of batteries to fill up. A total of 408 solar PV devices with loans totalling 1.2 million were also paid in part by the Scottish Government scheme. Mr Harvie's confirmed now this funding is available where these measures are installed alongside a renewable heating system. So in other words, you can only get this if you put a heat pump in. So you can get £1,200 grant if you're willing to spend £35,000 to £40,000 on a heat pump system. Yeah, I'm going to wonder how many heat pump systems you're going to sell, because nobody is buying them. Nobody wants them. Nobody can afford them. But of course he doesn't see that, and he's sitting there in his little ivory tower with his little air of ignorance surrounding his head. His little cloud of I can't see what normal people look like, He added that when a zero direct emissions heating system is installed, such as a heat pump, a solar PV system and a battery storage can be used to generate and store some of the electricity required to run the system. Absolutely. And indeed, when we put my system up, we actually looked at heat pumps. However, during the summer, when you don't need one, but you still have to run it because you want hot water, it's a weird way. So, okay, it's fairly cheap. However, in the winter, when there's not a lot of sun and you've still got to heat your house, the actual cost was so big, I would never, ever, ever have recouped the money. It would have actually cost me more in the long term. It was never sustainable. Now, when I put just the solar and battery system in, on installation, we worked out it would be about 9 or 10 years or so, over which the saving electricity would pay for itself. Immediately, the prices went up. And then we did the recalculation, and it will pay for itself in about 6 years. And we're a year in. So another 5 years, and it's basically free electricity for me. It's cost me nothing to put, in 6 years, the amount saved on electricity, that will pay for itself. That's cost me nothing to put on the roof. And of course, when I ever come to sell the house, I've got that. That is a big selling point when you're thinking, ooh, cheap electricity, marvellous. But the heat pumps, I would never, ever have got that money back. Anyway, a solar PV and battery storage system would not support a household reducing demand for gas if it's installed in a home heated by a gas boiler. No. But when you consider that it's cutting down on the amount of gas burnt at a power station, it's still better for the environment? Or is that too hard for your tiny little brain to understand? He added, recently we've seen a substantial increase in the number of applications to receive the scheme. That's because people like solar. Much of this rise has been driven by a surge in applications for solar PV and energy storage systems, the majority of which are not installed alongside a zero emissions heating system. Now, I'm going to say this, if someone is willing to spend money to put this on their roof, and you're offering a little grant to help them spend it, why would you stop them spending it? If, for example, somebody says, well, if I have the 1,200 loan and if I have the 1,200 grant and I get the 6,000 loan or whatever, I put the whole thing up. I repay the loan. If I had a little bit of grant, and then all of a sudden I've got that generating enough power, I'm not burning electricity burnt by gas at a central power station. And I'm willing to do that. Oh, no, if you do that, well, okay, well, if I've got to have that heat pump, then I'm not willing to do it. I'll just carry on burning gas. The man is mentally deranged, isn't he? He's so stupid. I don't even realise he doesn't know how stupid he is, that's for clear. I don't think anyone realises how stupid he is, because most people can't think down to that level, and they can't see that anyone that stupid can actually function as a human being, and it's quite clear he can't. He is so stupid. Scottish Conservative MSP Liam Kerr said, cutting funding for solar power flies in the face of Patrick Harvie's rhetoric on increasing the use of renewable sources of energy. Serious questions must be answered by the Green Minister as to why such a crucial change to this scheme was carried out without any consultation and announced without any fanfare. He added, it is little wonder that Patrick Harvie failed to be upfront about this. At a time when he's about to stop people from selling their homes for failing to replace their gas boilers, he's swinging the axe on solar power schemes. Yet again, his rhetoric simply doesn't meet the reality, and homeowners are paying the price for his failing policies. No. The Greens are going to be paying the price, and definitely the SNP will be paying the price for this ignorant, stupid leprechaun and his amazingly dim ideas. I'll round up and come up. Imagine being the Green Minister and saying that you're banning solar panels, because effectively that's what he's doing. People would ridicule you because it's a stupid idea. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm ridiculing him because it's an incredibly stupid idea. Although we all know that between them, all the Greens in the Scottish Government, added together, they're still only maybe scraping into double-figure IQ. And I'm only giving them that because even they know how stupid some of their other members are. But it is bizarre that you'd actually take this course of events. Does he not realise what he looks like? I mean, I don't mean physically. I mean, we all know what he looks like physically. But he does not realise what he looks like when he says stupid things like this. It's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. The sooner the Greens are out of government, the better, because you should never let morons make decisions. If you go to a hospital to have an operation, you want the surgeon to be making the decisions. You don't want the janitor to make the decisions. And with the Scottish Government at the moment, it tends to be the janitor's stupid friend who's making the decision. Anyway, I shall round up there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here on the channel, do please hit the subscribe button. It's very important. Need to get these stories out. Need to get them wide. So, if you can hit that subscribe button, it'd be absolutely fantastic. All my regulars, I know that an awful lot of you, 65% of you haven't hit the subscribe button. So, I hope I've earned it with this story. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and don't ever listen to the likes of Patrick Harvie, because he truly is an idiot. Bye.